Greetings once again, fellow gamers. This is the Gamer Guy in a Suit from the Echo Army YouTube channel. Back at you once again with a quick 5-minute review, this time of the brand new indie roguelike. Well, I'll just let the title do the talking on this one. It's called No Turning Back, the Pixel Art Action-Adventure Roguelike. So that's what we've got here. No Turning Back was released onto Steam on January 15th, 2016 by developer-publisher ColloseusX and Developer cpmartin. This game was indeed reviewed using a key provided by the developer and or publisher. Just real quick, I actually started to put together a review for this one yesterday, and I'm glad that I waited till today because there was an update for this game this morning, which kind of made the game a little bit more playable, quite frankly, because if I had have reviewed this game yesterday, it would have gotten a 1 out of 5 from me at best. There were a lot of issues. Right away, the first things that you noticed when you got into the game was it's got, you know, the art and the sound style that it advertises. It's nothing fancy. It's the pixel art style. Very much chiptune music and all that good stuff. But it's like a Binding of Isaac style roguelike where, you know, you got that top-down view and you take on your enemies and you collect items and whatnot. But the problems this thing had right off the bat were, I mean, the clipping and the hitboxes were so far out of whack that it was virtually impossible to do a lot of things. You could hardly navigate around the rooms. If you won your battles and were collecting the coins or whatever that would fall, you would just go through the door, not even intending to, just because you were too close to the door. Let's see. That was really almost game breaking. I mean, we're not talking like it only happened every once in a while. It was all over the place. It was rampant in the game. But to the developer's credit, already this morning, what we're talking a day, 2 days later, that has been addressed. There has been an update pushed through that fixes a lot of that hitbox. There has also been an update that fixes something else that people wanted fixed, and that was when you were hit, there was no way to know. I mean, your hit points would go down, but there was no audible cue, there was no visual cue. You really didn't know unless you were watching your HP bar, which obviously if you're trying to keep your eye on the action, you can't do. The developer went ahead and fixed that right away too. He's got a little sound that happens and a little like a red hit animation thing. You can kind of tell. You could definitely tell now when you're getting hit. What I did was I split this video up into 2 parts, and the first half of the video, you'll notice maybe for the first 2 minutes, is pre-update, and the last 3 is post-update. And you can even see a little bit of the difference in the ability to attack, the ability to move around. It's already been affected, which is a credit to the developer. As much as I still cannot recommend this game in its current state, I can recommend at least keeping an eye on it because the developer just jumped right on top of it to start fixing things, which is good because that's all this game is really missing. It's just raw. You could tell the developer's new, and that's not a bad thing. I'm a big fan of these indie games. It just needs to be refined a little bit. One of the other things that really seems to bother me about this game is I have no ability to attack up, down, north, south. You know, you're limited to the left and right, which would be okay if your enemies were too, but they're not. You've got enemies attacking you from all sides. So you're kind of stuck. You have to navigate around this room kind of awkwardly and attack awkwardly. It makes it really hard to do. Another thing you might notice right away is that the randomness it's not working. You got to put in some parameters. If I start a game multiple times where I'm running across 2-3 shopkeepers right off the bat and no enemies until like the 3rd room, and then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by like 9. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to be dead, obviously, within a minute. You can see some of these playthroughs in this video right here. As it is, yesterday I'd have given it a 1 out of 5. Today it's a 2 out of 5 because the developer's updating it and he's on top of it and he seems to be responsive and, you know, being productive towards making this a more refined product. And I'd just like to see where it goes. Until it gets to being more refined, I can't suggest it, but I would strongly suggest keeping an eye on it. Keep an eye on its updates and see where it's at later on. This may be one to pick up later. This has been the Gamer Guy in a Suit from the Echo Army YouTube channel. If you like what we're doing, hit the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons, and also be sure to check out our next giveaway coming up, I believe, in this next week. So, hope you enjoy what we're doing around here. Thanks for stopping by. As always, we wish you happy gaming.